Welcome guys to my presentation and implementation of Docker. So before we get started, we must understand the Docker through an example. Docker is like a cargo ship carrying many containers from one place to another. These containers are very lightweight and are portable. Moreover, these containers come in different sizes. For example, a container containing a Java program is very lightweight as compared to a container having a SQL database. A container contains the actual code, the dependencies, and the environment which run the code. Means the container is a total package of the software. Now, there is one developer working on the project at location A, and there is one teammate of him working at a remote location B. Now, the project that the developer has built is working on an environment and has its dependencies. But the teammate who is working with him cannot run that software even though he has the code because he doesn't have those dependencies and the environment. If we if the developer tries to send the entire software with its dependencies and environment, it would be very difficult because the file size would be very large. So that what the developer do is he encapsulates everything into one container and sends that container to his teammate. Now his teammate can run the entire software without any trouble, even though he has a completely different setup, configurations, or operating system as a whole. He can run that software without any trouble. So we get to a point where we learn the definition of Docker. Docker is a free and open source platform used for containerization. We have learned from the earlier example what is meant by containerization. So these containers are very portable and lightweight and are isolated environments. Therefore, it is a complete package of the software. These containers can be executed throughout different scenarios like different hardware like the ARM-based chips and the x86 chips, or different operating systems like Linux, Windows, or macOS, or machines containing different configurations. Docker made containerization popular because it is a major tool used in DevOps. Now guys, we will be starting with the installation of the WSL into our system. For this purpose, we will open command prompt and run this command in our terminal. So hence, the Windows subsystem for Linux is installed in our system. So as to cross-check, we will run this command so as to check the version of the WSL installed. So WSL is successfully installed in our system. Now guys, our next step is to download the Docker desktop into our system. Our system has an x86 chip and it is an 64-bit system. So this exe file is getting installed, and and after installation, we will execute this exe file. Windows needs to be restarted. So we'll catch up after I restart my PC. So the Docker desktop has been successfully installed on our PC. So we need to log in into the Docker. I've already made an account with my GitHub, so I'll sign in with my GitHub. So we have been logged in into the Docker desktop. Now the next step is to sign up into the Docker Hub. We have been successfully signed in into the Docker Hub. Now let's start with our actual implementation part. So we have made one folder called Docker, in which we'll be creating two files called first.py and dockerfile. In first.py, we'll be simply executing a print hello world code, nothing fancy. And in the Docker file, we will be writing the code that will be actually executing and running the Docker engine. So after writing this code, we have downloaded the VS Code extension for Docker, and also we have written this code which will be executing the Docker engine. I'll be posting this code in the description box below. So let's first save these two files and open the terminal. The first command which we will be running is docker pull python. So what this does is it pulls the Python into our system. We will be building this code with the help of Docker. So the command is docker build t my username slash first.py first space dot. So we have successfully built this Python code into our system. So as to push this code to the cloud, we will be writing this code. Docker push my username slash first.py. Docker push. So by this command, this code will be pushed to the Docker hub, that's the cloud. It has been successfully pushed to the cloud. So here we can see. So here we can see that my code has been pushed over here. So as to pull this command from the Docker hub, that is, if you are a remote user you will pull that Docker container into your system. The command is docker pull the username slash first. Enter. So we have pulled this command successfully into our system. As we can see over here, my code has been successfully pushed to the cloud. And also we had pulled that code into our system. Now we will run that code in our system. The command is docker run my username slash first. It says hello world. That is the code for the first.py has been successfully executed in our system. So guys, in this way we have come to an end to our presentation and implementation of Docker. We have seen through the implementation how one can execute and run a Python code in a device in which the Python is not yet installed. First, we have coded the first.py, a Python code to run the Hello World program. We had also run the Docker file. We have built it and we pushed it into the cloud, that is the Docker Hub. Then the user who doesn't have the configuration for the Python pulls that code of Python from the cloud into his system and runs successfully without any trouble. This is how Docker works. That's it for the day. Peace out. If you have any questions, I'll entertain them in the comments down below. Also, give me the feedback in the comments. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.